There's a movie out now, The Post, by Steven Spielberg, and I tell you up front that I have not seen this movie and I'm not criticizing it, but as I understand it, it is the Washington Post's struggle to print the Pentagon Papers against the Nixon administration's attempt to stop them, and it makes Nixon the evildoer. And people still think that Nixon was responsible for the Vietnam War. What the Pentagon Papers showed was that John F. Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson had lied to people consistently about how much involvement we had in the Vietnam War, and it really was JFK and LBJ who got us into the war, and Nixon who stopped it. It was Nixon who stopped the war, who ended the war. And so when you have John Kerry used to go, oh, this is Nixon's war, they're just lying. And they lie in their movies because they know that this kid at NYU is going to sit up one night, late at night, and is going to see the Post, and that's all he or she is ever going to know about what happened in history. And we don't do it. We think we can come in at the last minute and explain to everybody and point to charts and tell them the facts, but they've already got Jay-Z's music in their head. They've already got Steven Spielberg's movie on their screen. They've already got these leftist professors teaching these kids that a speech has been terrible when a speech hasn't even taken place yet. You know, it does ultimately, we win these battles, but ultimately the war is fought in the culture. And I know I say this all the time. I know I hammer it home, but I hammer it home because it really does matter. And one day it comes back and it bites you, and you wind up with a president like Barack Obama. And you sit there and say, how come we have a president who hates our country? Well, because they created Obama in our schools, in our movies, in our news media before he existed as a real human being. So when people saw him, they didn't really see him. They saw an image of who he was supposed to be, who he was pretending to be.